Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Millicent Walker. On the news this hour, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele gets a second shot as Apex Bank head after senatorial confirmation. President Muhammadu Buhari to depart Nigeria today to observe Holy Pilgrimage and Lesser Hajj in Umrah, Saudi Arabia. In controversies trailed the decision of the Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Kaide Fayemi, in reversing some employments made by his predecessor. Welcome everyone to the program. We begin with the top story we're tracking at this time, where the Senate has just announced the confirmation of Mr. Godwin Emefiele as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria for another 5 years. Mr. Emefiele's confirmation follows the adoption of the Senate Committee report on banking, insurance and other financial institutions, which cleared him on Wednesday. The confirmation is coming just a week after the request of President Muhammadu Buhari was read on the floor of the Senate, making it one of the fastest confirmation process by the 8th Senate. And President Muhammadu Buhari will be performing the Umrah or Lesser Hajj in the Lesser Pilgrimage in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at the invitation of King Salman bin Abdulaziz, who is also the custodian of the two holy mosques. A statement from the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, confirms that President Buhari will embark on the journey today, accompanied by close personal aides. He's expected back in the country on Tuesday, May the 21st. The Umrah is an optional but recommended pilgrimage to Mecca that can be made at any time of the year. So let's go over to issues relating to the economy and money matters and how it's really been handled by those in power. Now, yesterday, after the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, the Council approved $1 billion Chinese loan from Chinese Exim Bank for the Kwara 2 hydropower project, which has the capacity to generate 360 megawatts electricity. Now, 10.4 billion naira is also approved for the completion of Ile-Ife Dam in Osun State. Also, the Council approved 9.47 billion naira for the purchase of grains to reinforce the grain reserve in the country. The Minister of Agriculture says the Council gave the approval to buy 61 tons of grains and millet and sorghum, and the purchasing will begin shortly. The grains are being stored in the silos in the event of any food emergency. Well, Nigeria's inflation has jumped from 11.25% to 11.37% on a year-on-year basis and up to 0.94% on a month-on-month basis, against a lower figure of 0.79% reported in the month of March this year. The report released today by the National Bureau of Statistics shows that food inflation is up by 13.70% from 13.45% recorded in March, while on a monthly basis, the figure jumped significantly to 1.14% against 0.88% in the previous month. Now, core sub-index drops lower at 9.30% year-on-year from 9.5%. However, the index rose 0.70% month-on-month. Urban inflation tops the chart by 11.70%, while rural index stands at 11.08%. Over to legal matters now. The Supreme Court will today commence hearing in the appeals filed by the All Progressives Congress, APGA, in Zamfara State. Today was fixed by the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Mohammed, who presided over the appeal filed by the Governor-elect of Zamfara State, Alhaji Mukta Idris, and others against the decision of the Court of Appeal. Secretary Division fixed the date for hearing after listening to submissions of the counsels in court. Well, now, the governor-elect and a faction of the APC in Zamfara State who contested the 2019 general election had approached the Apex Court to set aside the decision of the Secretary Division of the Court of Appeal, which had nullified the primaries that produced them as candidates for the last general election at the state at all levels. The lower court, in its judgment, held that due process was not followed in the conduct of the primaries. But not satisfied with the decision of the court, the governor-elect approached the apex court to challenge it. Now let's touch base with our correspondent who's covering proceedings at the apex court. We have Amaka. All right, we'll come back to our correspondent who's covering that particular court matter for us and take you to what's happening in the states. And this time we touch base with Ekiti State. The Kayode Fayemi administration there, they have condemned some employments made by the receding regime as hurriedly done and lacking in due process. Consequently, the state government nullified all employments done after last year's governorship election in the state. The government also placed conditions on other employments dated before the election, saying they will be subject to review and availability of vacancy.
All appointments made after the gubernatorial election of July 2018, an exercise found to have violated due process, are hereby cancelled and declared null and void. All affected persons are advised to participate in the next recruitment exercise to be announced in due course. The officers reinstated into the Local Government Service Commission between October 16, 2014 and October 15, 2018 are to be reabsorbed by the relevant personnel boards and migrated to biometric payroll with immediate effect. All 272 officers employed by the Governor Fayose-led administration who are still on manual payroll shall be considered for absorption into the civil service, but on a case-by-case basis. Absorption will be conditional on the availability of vacancies.
Well, there have been loads of reactions to that, one of them coming from the opposition party in the state. The spokesperson to Mr. Ayo Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State, Larry Olayinka, says the decision of the Fayemi-led All Progressives Congress government in Ekiti State to sack 2,000 workers employed by the immediate past government of Ayodele Fayose as wickedness. Is described it as wickedness and political vendetta. Fayose's spokesperson, in a statement on Wednesday, said Fayemi has only succeeded in writing his name in history books as Ekiti, or rather history books of Ekiti, as one who inflicts pains and sorrow on the people. In Akwa Ibom State, the governor, Udom Emmanuel, has fired the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Sufficiency, Dr. Udwak Udo Eyang. In a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Emmanuel Ukwem, the governor has directed the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Professor Nse Essien, to immediately take over the duties and functions of the former commissioner. Now, no details were given as to the sack of that commissioner. Let's go over to Anambra State, where the state governor, Willie Obiano, he led the members of the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. This is to the second NEC meeting of the party at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, where the template for the National Convention was released. The dissolution of the Board of Trustees of the party was announced by its National Secretary, Mr. Labaran Maku, who disclosed that new members will be nominated before the National Convention on the 31st of May.
The flag of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, flying high at the Anambra State Governor's Lodge, Amobia, the venue for the emergency meeting of the National Executive Committee of the party, ahead of its national convention. First task of the day is accreditation. And the state governor, Willie Obiano, National Working Committee members, chairmen and secretaries of the party, amongst others, put themselves forward for that. That done, Governor Obiano declares the meeting open. And the party's national chairman welcomes everyone.
This meeting is going to be very, very, very professional, business-like. and we do not intend to spend too much time here. We'll go into the agenda of the meeting and swiftly done with, and we disperse.
After some deliberation, the National Secretary of the party, Mr. Labaran Maku, announces the resolution.
Whoever take the party to court without first exhausting the internal mechanisms for conflict resolution automatically loses party membership. This was unanimously adopted to enhance discipline and cohesion in APGA.
Governor Willie Obiano, who commends party leaders, urges the members to conduct themselves well during and after the convention.
I want to encourage all of you to, in this meeting, both in the conduct and in the coming convention by the 31st or so, that we conduct ourselves very well. Love this party. Don't listen to side comments. Even brothers of the same parents and sisters of the same parents fight, let alone people of diverse culture, backgrounds, and what have you. You know, and ours will not be an exception.
Dates approved by the party's leadership for elective congresses include 19th of May for ward, 21st of May for local government, 23rd of May for state as well as zonal congresses, and 31st of May for the party's national convention. The party's board of trustees was also dissolved in preparation for the nomination of new members at the national convention.
And now is the latest on the crisis rocking the Imo State House of Assembly. Today, the Deputy Speaker of that Assembly and House Reps-elect Honorable Ugonna Uzuribo has resigned. 21 lawmakers yesterday of the House of Assembly passed a vote of no confidence on the Speaker, Honorable Acho Ihim. They have also asked the Speaker to step aside following a notice of impeachment served on him on a 10-count allegation bordering on gross misconduct, misappropriation of House funds, negligence of duty, and illegally subduing legislative activities. The lawmaker representing Unuimo State constituency, Chinedu Ofo, has been chosen as pro tem Speaker of the House, while allegations against the Speaker Ihim are being investigated. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, Acho Ihim, has described the action of the lawmakers as illegal, saying that it cannot hold water.
The members had before now suspended 27 members of Imo State House of Assembly for neglecting to appear before the House as requested by the House of Assembly to investigate sundry allegations against them. And today, to the amazement of the House, the Speaker convened the House and climbed his seat and simply announced that the chairman have been recalled. Just that, but without a voice vote, got down the gavel and took off from the House. So for us, it was the height of embarrassment. We came together, 21 of us that were today present at the sitting, except the majority leader and the deputy speaker who ran away with the speaker. All of us came together and then resolved to prepare and serve the impeachment notice.
They say they have been suspended. But you don't suspend a speaker that has been on the seat running for almost 4 years outside the plenaries, without the mess, without the clerks. It doesn't happen. Okay, even if you suspend the speaker, suppose this things happen at the plenary and at the chambers with this mess and the clerks on there. If I'm suspended, then the deputy speaker takes over. Not a pro tem speaker. So it doesn't hold water.
For the achievements that God has granted our father and our mother these past few years, we say, thank you, Jesus. That
And Governor Rochester Okorocha has been unveiling some of the projects in his state that he has completed in the past 8 years, beginning from yesterday. Today, what you can see, live feeds of the Imo Day of Thanksgiving, State of Imo Address, as part of the events taking place in Owerri, the capital. Well, still to come on Lunchtime Politics, a major contender in the Senate presidency race, Ahmed Lawan, has been speaking on some of the issues. We'll give you details after the break.